Hey everybody, I'm Jamie. Welcome to my channel. Let's get to crafting. For this first DIY, I'm going to start with this Merry Christmas sign from Dollar Tree, and then I'm just going to go ahead and soak it in some water just for a minute or two, and then I'm going to go in with some 80 grit sandpaper and sand all that glitter off. Now the trick is with that sandpaper is you want to line the back of your sandpaper with some duct tape. That way your sandpaper won't fall apart quite so easy. So if you prefer to skip this part, this is very messy, you can actually go ahead and spray paint over top of this sign, and apparently you won't see over top of the glitter. It is your choice, and I know I made a huge mess on my counter. Don't worry, this actually came off pretty easy. Using that Rustoleum white spray paint, I did 2 coats of paint on my sign. Okay, so I have this board here that I cut. This is 20 inches. This board is 20 inches this way and it's 16 inches this way. So this is just, a piece of plywood that I'm going to be using for our sign, and I'm going to be getting this all sanded up, and you will see that in just a few minutes. And then over here I have this extra trim that I'm going to be using. Sorry about my camera stuff. I have this trim that I'm going to be using that I'm going to be cutting down to size. I have never actually cut trim down so at like 45-degree angles so that I can make like the corners looking really nice. So I'm still in the learning phases of this, so bear with me. Using a hand sander, I sanded both sides of my board, and now I'm just going to go in with this black chalk paint by Craftsman, and I just did 1 coat of paint on just one side of my board. So as one of my subscribers had suggested in my last video that I use some trim, and I just so happen to have this trim in my garage from the last people that lived here. So I was able to use that. So that was a great find. I've got 4 pieces. The 2 in the middle are 20 inches long, and the 2 on the outside are 13.5 inches long. So what I did was I took them outside and I spray painted them white. I think it took about 2 coats. And I'm just kind of lining them up, making sure they line up very nicely. Now, like I said earlier, I am not very good at this. I have not learned how to do my 45-degree angle cuts to make this look even better. But you know what? It's rustic, it's farmhouse, it works. So then once I get those glued and nailed down, my Merry Christmas sign is going to go into the center of that. And I'm going to use some hot glue and some E6000 to seal that down. Now to embellish this a little bit, I had gotten this Christmas pick from Dollar Tree, and I thought this was so cute because it's got the little red bird on it. And I start with taking the what do you call those? The gator clips. You know what I mean. And I just I took the whole pick apart, and that way I can lay everything down the way I wanted to see it. Once that was all done, just to kind of cover up those holes a little bit, I just took some white chalk paint and I filled in those holes. That way you can kind of camouflage it a little bit. And let's see how this turned out. For the next DIY, I used one of the Nutcrackers from Dollar Tree, and I began by removing his beard and his hair. Now the hair gave me a little bit of a hard time, but keep working with it, it will come off. Next, I go in with my hammered spray paint, took this little guy outside and gave him 2 coats. And let's see how he turned out. If you thought that last DIY was simple, this one is even easier. So I grabbed this 11 by 14 picture frame from, you guessed it, Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to go ahead and open it up, take the backing and that little insert out, and then I'm going to use one of Dollar Tree's Christmas bags. I'm going to put the glass on top of that, trace it out, and I'm going to cut it out. Now, Dollar Tree carries some gorgeous Christmas gift bags, so if you see some, snag them up because these kind of DIYs are so easy and so versatile. You could do this for whether it's Christmas, Halloween, Easter. It doesn't matter the holiday. It is very simple, and it's just a little tracing, cutting, and sticking it back into the picture frame, and voila, instant decor piece. For this last DIY, I'm using one of these wreath forms from Dollar Tree, and then I'm going to go ahead and use this Merry Christmas sign that I had picked up from Hobby Lobby. Now, Hobby Lobby's Christmas decor pieces are all 50% off, so this was $3.99, so half off. There you go. Then I had to grab these floral picks over in their floral section, and these were adorable. I love the plaid Christmas trees, and I got 2 of them. And the other 2 picks that I had gotten were from Dollar Tree, and I thought they matched pretty perfectly, so I decided to use them both. So I start by using some pliers and unwinding the wire that my sign is on, and I'm actually going to use that same wire to attach it to my wreath. Once I had that on there, and I know my sign is not completely centered, and that is okay. I'm fine with that. So then I'm going to go ahead and take my floral picks, and I'm just going to cut and pull these pieces apart so that I can lay each individual piece exactly where I want it. Once I have my picks pulled apart, I go ahead and start arranging them on my wreath, adding just a little bit of hot glue in certain places, not all over the place. And then I ended up adding some big and small pine cones along with 2 of the little Christmas trees. And I think this turned out so super cute and very affordable. If you were to recreate this wreath or actually just do one like it, definitely go and check out Hobby Lobby's 50% off right now. They've got some really great deals. And then, of course, your local Dollar Tree. They have some really nice picks as well. So definitely let me know and down in the comment section below which one of these projects was your favorite, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, ring the little bell so you don't miss a thing. Y'all have a wonderful, blessed day. Bye.